Hey, what's up, everybody? I want to welcome you to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Daily Recap, where we give you a recap of all of the hot topics that we covered that day. You can catch them in their long format and also catch it fully streaming for free on Apple Podcasts. So as you guys know, Jeff Teague pretty much set the internet on fire over the last 24, 36 hours, right? Because he was on his podcast where he essentially said that LeBron James was using steroids, allegedly. And these comments set the internet on fire, man. Everybody started chiming in. And people then quickly thought that, hey, this guy's definitely going to change his opinion because somebody's going to contact him. And he certainly did that, but we'll get to that in a different show. So he comes back yesterday to kind of unpack everything that took place after his comments went viral. And then he begins to describe a situation where he was at a gas station. This is after his comments were made. And some deranged LeBron fan confronted him over his comments, to the point where he had to get into a defensive stance and stand his ground and say, look, if this guy had done anything more than this, I would have been forced to defend myself with force, deadly force. And after I heard his comments, I'm like, really? Is this where we are? Folks, this is exactly where we are. But before we get into it, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, Game Time. One of the things I love the most is making unforgettable memories with family and friends. And one of the things I hate the most is overpaying for tickets only to find out that there was a better deal out there. That's one of the reasons I started using Game Time. Game Time is the easy go-to app for last-minute tickets to sports, concert, and theater events across 60-plus states in the US and Canada. Game Time saves me time, money, and stress by curating only the best deals, so I'm not wasting a whole bunch of time scrolling through overpriced tickets. Game Time Picks is my favorite tool. It highlights the best value seats instantly. No more guesswork, no more wasting time. For example, I'm really looking forward to watching some of these NBA Summer League games. Here's what I like to do. I choose between the cheapest deal, the great deal, or the amazing deal. Once you select the ticket you want, you can use their panoramic seat view to ensure you know exactly what you're getting before you buy. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Again, create an account and use redeem code CLNS for $20 off. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So what we want to do now is we want to play exactly what Jeff Teague had to say here. I want you guys to listen to it in its entirety, and then I'm going to come back and react to his comments. Take a listen to Jeff Teague here.
Whoever the dude that pulled up on me at the gas station, boy, that almost was your last day, boy. Whoever you was, Mook, you weren't here. The fool called me a B. Yeah.
Over Bron?
Got my back to pumping the gas. Then I turned back around. I'm like, it's no way he's talking to me. So I had to load up. Like, this one's gonna fly. Okay. Then he looked back. He like, yeah, you a snitch. you a hoe. You a snitch. I'm like, huh? I'm like, what are you talking about? Bron didn't do that. I'm like, man, go on, man.
Quit playing, bro.
Go on, man. Stop playing, bro.
I stopped playing now.
I was like, man, it's too early for that, bro. Stop playing with me. Go ahead, bro. White dude at the gas station was like, what is the problem?
Yeah, bro.
I'm like, he playing.
So you heard what Jeff Teague had to say. What are my thoughts on this? Look, folks, I've said it before, and people think I'm joking, and they think it's a joke, and I'm not joking. LeBron fans are some of them amongst the most disturbed people I've ever seen. Like, LeBron James fans are the only ones that take this thing beyond sports. Literally. I've even had death threats sent to me because of some of my LeBron James takes. I've had some LeBron fans screenshot pictures of my daughter and send it to me and say all kind of crazy stuff. LeBron James fans. I've even had another one send me a message calling me the N-word and all of that stuff. And usually when they message you, they send you this from these accounts that have like no followers, no pictures, just people hiding behind the anonymity of these profiles. So they've done that. But to go to the extent that this guy went to now see the guy in a gas station and he says something about a man that you don't even know and you will never know, that will never know you. For you to approach him in a confrontational way and start calling him a snitch and all of this, are you absolutely insane? Are you guys absolutely insane? The problem is these guys are actually serious. LeBron James fans are actually serious. I think y'all behave like a cult. Because I don't know why you have grown men calling LeBron James my king. That's a cult. And it's disturbing. Why are you calling another man my king? Why? And you feel manly after you said that? You have men that have children calling LeBron James my king, my glorious king. What are you talking about? Some of them don't even call their women their queens, but they'll call LeBron James their king. What is wrong with you guys? That now y'all are running up on people because they don't like LeBron James? Really, bro? Is it that serious? Is it that serious? Does it mean that much to you? And the answer is yes. The answer is absolutely yes. That's the answer. Now, obviously, this isn't all LeBron fans. Some LeBron fans are functioning, thinking, normal people. But then you have this contingency of them where they just behave like animals. If you approach somebody in a confrontational way to threaten harm to them because they made a comment about LeBron James, you're off your rockers, bro. This is the problem. This is the problem. And it's not, you're actually putting yourself in danger by doing that. You're literally putting yourself in it because now you're opening up yourself to find yourself in situations where you may think is going to go one way and then you find out it goes another way. What did that guy say? You're going to end up watching the Lakers game from heaven. This is the problem. Y'all thinking is going one way because, oh, well, I saw the guy on YouTube, so, I'm going to walk up to him and blah, 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 blah. And you find out, oh, man, I'm not here no more. This is what happens. What is wrong with you guys? Why do y'all call LeBron y'all king? What kind of infatuation do you have with him? These guys are gone mentally. Some of them are gone, demented, twisted. You have black content creators making racial slurs about other black content creators thinking they're defending LeBron James. These dudes are opening their asses for this dude. Literally. I think if y'all go around calling LeBron my king, I think you're a weirdo. Straight up and down, bro. You a weirdo. Like, let's just call it what it is, bro. If you over the age of 18 and you calling this dude my king, my glorious king, son, you a weirdo. I don't know what women you think are going to be attracted to you that you're calling another man my king. Are you even serious, bro? My king? You running out on Jeff Teague talking about he snitched. Are you high? And the crazy part is that he said you a snitch. Like, so hold up. So you're agreeing that he knew. So why are you telling? What? That's not even a definition of a snitch. What? A snitch is somebody, if we're all in concert together and we're doing something illegal and then we get caught and I tell, that's a snitch. Performance enhancers are illegal in basketball, not in the world, illegal in basketball. So how is he a snitch? He's not doing it. It's not like as if it's him and LeBron is doing it. And like, yo, man, LeBron fans, man, even one of them wrote, man, you come back to the States, man, you got to get scary, man. You got to make sure you get scary, man. Yeah, because, we love LeBron, man. We love him. What? You dudes is taking penitentiary chances for LeBron. Son wouldn't piss on you if you was on fire, bro. He wouldn't even piss on you. You see how he be stiff arming his fans, bro, and y'all ready to excuse me, crash out for this dude? I've never seen this before. I don't even want fan base. What group of men do this? It's just so pathetic. I think it's so pathetic. I really do. I'm a huge Kobe fan, but I'm not giving up my manhood to be a Kobe fan. Are you crazy? It's come to that? And they're proud about it. They are openly proud. Like, yeah, man, I'm proud. You got grown-ass men buying Barbie dolls, bro. What in the world is going on? You dudes ran out there and bought Barbie dolls. Some of y'all was standing online for 14 hours to buy a Barbie doll, bro. A Barbie doll. Do y'all like LeBron because of basketball? Because I'm believing that this ain't got nothing to do with basketball no more, bro. This ain't got nothing to do with basketball. I don't believe it is. I believe for the vast majority of them, it ain't got nothing to do with basketball. They really like dude. They really trying to hit. Like, yo, he not going to let y'all hit. Like, I'm lost. Bro, it's man. Y'all, man. LeBron James fans, bro. We all talk basketball. We all fans of certain players. Ain't nobody trying to scrap over no damn basketball player. I've never had a basketball argument growing up where we reach to the point we got to scrap over a basketball player, bro. That means you're a loser in life. You're a loser. You're a loser. No man, no real man is going to fight over sport. You're a loser. A loser. Only losers would do that. Losers in life do that. You got to be a loser. No grown-ass man is going to do that with responsibilities that carries himself a certain way. Then I'm going to be, oh, he said this about LeBron James. When I see him, I'm a cop. Like, what? Where your mans is at to be like, yo, son, you bugging. Sit down. Like, sit down, bro. What are you talking about? You bugged out right now. Sit down. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Over LeBron James. Dudes is weirdos, man. You running up on dudes trying to fight them for LeBron James. These is weirdos. It's a continuation of what happened yesterday. I'm a little bit under the weather, been dealing with a cold here, so if my energy's not the same, just bear with me. I'll be better tomorrow. So as you guys know, Jeff Teague went out there and he just caused pure chaos. Like, the dude just caused like total chaos and mayhem with his comments where he said that LeBron James was allegedly using steroids. This created all kind of stuff, and a lot of people were sitting here saying like, yo, they definitely gonna reach out to him. So after he made those comments, some hours went by. He then goes on his social media and posts, oh, some of y'all are weird. And we're like, bro, you the one that said it. People are reacting to what you said, but they weird. What are you talking about? You said it, and we're reacting to it. Now we weird for reacting to what you said. Nobody forced you to say that. You said that. So he said that. So the minute he put out that apology, we was like, oh yeah, they got to him. They got to him. So all of us were waiting to hear what was going to be his response to those viral comments. And then next thing you know, I see a show coming out that said Jeff Teague, what did he say? He said Jeff Teague clarifies his LeBron comments, like as if they weren't clear the first time he said it. So he goes on his show and he literally starts off the show talking about, man, I guess LeBron fans don't like me, Kobe fans don't like me. I look like I'm just have to be rocking these Jordans. I'm like, yo. So then he begins to explain the situation. And according to Jeff Teague, he seemed to be totally blindsided by the whole thing. And he was like, his father had to reach out to him like, yo, did you hear what you... And I'm like, yo, what is going on here? So for those of you who didn't hear what Jeff had to say, I want to play his comments for you now, and then when I come back and react to his comments. Take a listen to Jeff Teague here.
Listen, bro.
We was only on Clutch Sports for 2 weeks, man.
They kicked me off the Clutch, bro. Listen, bro, it was a joke, bro. Like, what did they miss, bro?
Hey, now, before we even get to that, who do we have on the show who was from Clutch? And they were just like, yeah, I had to double check to see if he was actually on the roster. Was that Alicia Gray?
Yeah, Alicia Gray. Yeah. Like they like
He's not, Leash.
No, I'm not. I'm
He's
not
not.
on Clutch Sports. And definitely after this, I will never get another Clutch opportunity. Because y'all take everything out of context. We were literally giving LeBron praise of how dominant he was.
Yeah, y'all wasn't really watching the show, and I mean that's why flipped up though. Like,
And we was
go ahead.
we was saying he was so dominant.
This is your post, King. You right.
Nah, I'm just saying we were saying he was so dominant that like, bro, you 280 running that fast, bro. I'm like, bro, he was on steroids, bro.
Yeah, and that was a real storyline though. I mean,
But I was joking because if I knew that people like, how did you know he was on steroids? I didn't know. I don't know. I don't care. Because if he was and I knew, I would have told that nigga give me some.
Yeah.
I would have tapped in.
I would have been 6'3", 285, too, like a Mack truck. Like,
If you had a recipe, there would be no club pops on you
no,
right now.
I wish I had the recipe. Like,
Nah,
matter of
for sure.
fact, if you got some, bro, tap in.
Send the remix.
I'm ready to make a comeback. Me, John Wall, send it all of us. Shit, we trying to get
Oh,
back.
you too old. You gonna fall apart.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Like,
listen, the steroid league is on the way.
man,
Try to qualify.
listen, bro.
That's
I
a
couldn't
real
believe.
thing, though.
Well, only reason I even knew about it is because my dad, he was like, "You trying to get us killed?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" I think I did something crazy.
I woke up, my phone was bro. I really thought something happened.
I did too. When my dad said that, "You trying to get us killed?"
And
And
I
I was
knew
like,
it
"What are
wasn't
you
about my
talking about?"
family nothing because it was all social media. I'm like,
He
damn.
like, "You said something about Bron?" I was like, "What?" I literally didn't know. I'm like, "What did I say about Bron?"
Yeah.
He like, "Something about steroids."
Yeah, that wasn't even like the
I
topic
was
of the
like,
show for
"What?"
real either.
The
I was
fact
like-
that Coach Teague hit you about this is hilarious.
Yeah, I was like, I just made a joke that he good. Like, he was so good and so strong, much faster than everybody. I was like, yeah, steroids. And he was like, well, people think you know that he's on steroids. I'm like, man, I don't know that, man. Like, I've never seen that man do nothing. I was like, I just said that he went out for 2 weeks and he came back a superhuman.
I mean, I hate it got taken up that way, but I understand too because like the tell about the NBA, it always followed by videos and
Yeah,
so you
but-
gotta look at that side of it too.
Yeah, but I don't know, Bron.
The
I
funny
mean, I
part about this,
understood, but
they just killed us for saying we glazed Bron too much.
Yeah.
oh, facts.
Now we hate LeBron.
Nah, I hate Bron. Yeah, they just told me you a Bron hater. Y'all just told me I was.
They said we
a
talking about
weirdo
Bron
'cause I
too
love
much.
Bron.
We signed a clutch. We sold our soul.
I still love Bron. Bron's still the greatest, one of the greatest players ever to me. But
Yeah.
I was joking. We were literally talking, but it's okay. I don't give.
Hey man,
It's here now.
We never gonna get all LeBron soldier deal.
Yeah, I was just about to get some new Brons too and hoop in them, but
Now you're Under Armour soldier. So,
come on, first steps now.
What Dom say? Don't wear him in the club.
I just couldn't believe. I'm really shocked that made like a thing.
we
Like,
pay ESPN, bro.
Because nobody else is working.
I'm like, bro, y'all serious, bro?
So you heard what Jeff Teague had to say. What are my thoughts about this? Nobody believed anything of what he just said. Nobody believes that, bro. Nobody. There's nothing in there that said it was a joke. He didn't even joke it at all. He said, I know. Like, I heard, like, it's a fact. Like, we all know. Like, even his co-host said, yeah, we all remember that. He wasn't joking. He wasn't joking. There was no joke about it. There was no joke about it. There was no laughter. He was like, they were serious. So what happened was they then contacted him, and then they did that. Now, what's interesting is that he also said that, I think his co-host said we've only been on Clutch for like 2 weeks or something like that. And then he said he's never going to get an opportunity from Clutch Sports again. So here's how it works. Shannon Sharp's podcast network, I believe, owns Club 520. Because I remember when that $100 million deal was supposed to come out, Shannon was, this show was a part of it. And there was another show with some women that also is part of that deal or whatever it is. But this show is affiliated with what Shannon is got going on over there. And if you know anything about Shannon Sharp, you know he's a huge LeBron James supporter. So one would assume that he would not be happy with this type of information coming out, and it may affect his business because it's like, yo, that's your show, and he's saying it's about me. And so it may have been a messy situation, and I'm sure some people behind the scenes spoke to him like, yo, you got to go out there and clarify that. Here's the interesting thing. Jeff Teague says things about every other NBA player. He never had to go out there and clarify it. He never had to go out there and clarify it. Why you got to clarify this? Now, probably some people are saying, oh, well, you know, you don't say those kind of things without evidence, right? Maybe that's what they said. Oh, you don't say it without evidence. So basically this means that you can't talk about anything unless you're ready to bring up the evidence. Now, I do understand that, right? I do understand that. Here's what I think Jeff should have done. I don't think he should have backed away from his comments. I'm being serious. I don't think he should have. I think backing away from these comments hurt his credibility because we all know you were serious. We all knew you were serious. For example, I'll give you an example of why I say that. In this instance, you have Jeff Teague backing down and saying, no, I didn't say that. Let's go to Chael Sonnen. Chael Sonnen has said this on many occasions. Hell, he even did a show about it. Why has Chael Sonnen not been contacted by somebody like a legal team and say, hey, you need to retract those statements? Why? Chael Sonnen has said way worse than Jeff Teague. So why are you picking on Jeff Teague? Go pick on Chael Sonnen. Go pick on him. Go pick on him. He's not taking back a single thing that he said. So why does Jeff Teague have to take it back? See how that works? He took it back and now hurts your credibility because they're like, no. But in the case of Chael, he said it. And he's like, you contact me, we go through discovery. We'll do it. That's why they haven't responded to him. But Jeff just ran away from it. And people ended up, like, I remember watching the show live or when they published it, when they premiered it. And a lot of people were like, cap. People were laughing at him in the comments because they knew he was serious. So for you to try to run from the situation, you end up losing face. You lose credibility. You think you're saving face, but now you've lost credibility on the issue. You should have stood your ground. Right? But these guys, for whatever reason, are not willing to go that far. I don't know. One can only assume that money is a part of the equation and no one wants to affect their money. And I get that. But hey, man, them saying they burned the bridge with you. It's like, yeah, man. Somebody sent me a message the other day on the channel. This channel is so small. You only have, he said 120,000 subs. He said you would have 100,000. No, you would have 1 million if you weren't so hateful and all. I'm like, so you want me to sit up here and lie to you and say things I don't believe and just manufacture my emotions and my opinions just to get 1 million subs? I'll pass. I'd rather be growing at the rate that we're growing and I'm being honest with myself and I can look myself in the mirror and say, you're being real, than be up here lying like most of these guys. I'm good. You can keep that money and shove it up your ass. How about that, pumpkin? So I was talking about the sound from Jeff Teague yesterday when he came out and did the show where he was clarifying his comments that he made about LeBron James, right? He had to come out there and clarify. Many people were saying that he was contacted. He was obviously contacted. Hence the reason he put up that comment on his Instagram and then had to come out yesterday and essentially apologize and say, oh, no, I was joking. I didn't really mean it. Although when he was saying it, he was like, I'm not joking. I'm serious and all of that stuff. So people have been looking funny at him like, hey, why, and I said that he should have backed up his comments because he lost a lot of credibility by running away from it and saying, oh, no, I don't know what they're talking about like this. And I think because people knew you were serious when you said it. So to now turn around and say that, oh, I'm just joking, you kind of like lose face. I'm like, bro, like, what are you doing here? Like, this is ridiculous. So as I was doing that show, I began to think about something live as I was doing it. And I began to think, I'm like, wait a minute. What about Chael Sonnen? Right? You were made to go out there and essentially apologize. Why hasn't Chael Sonnen been asked to go out there and clarify his comments? This is a serious question that we need to understand. Why hasn't he been asked to go out there and say, hey, no, man, what you're saying needs to be retracted and taken back and all of this stuff. This is defamation. You're saying this against my client and all of that. And I then began to realize the reason that they have not approached Chael Sonnen to take back his statements is because I think he's willing to back it up and he has the evidence to do so. And what we want to do now is we want to play some of the things that Chael Sonnen said about LeBron that I believe were way more inflammatory and way more accusatory than what Jeff Teague had to say here. So take a listen to what Chael Sonnen said about LeBron just about 2 years ago. Take a listen to his comments here.
If the world understood what LeBron did, like other basketball players will hear what LeBron does and go, well, yeah, but that doesn't matter, right? It's like a baseball player and you're hitting a stick out of the way. It doesn't matter. It's like, no. If you knew what these performance enhancers did, then you would know why it does matter.
What do you think he's doing?
There's only one. We have the same drug guy, if you will. I know exactly what he's doing. But there's only one golfer.
Please tell.
There's only one golfer. I'm not going to, but there's only one golfer that follows the big three. And the big three is EPO, growth hormone, testosterone. That's the Lance Armstrong diet. There's one golfer, but it's Tiger Woods. Like, yes, it does matter. People will say it all the time, it doesn't matter. John Daly won it. It's like, it matters. Trust me that it matters. EPO matters. It's the reason LeBron takes it. It matters. And if other basketball has understood
EPO
what it
do?
did, EPO increases your red blood cells, which gives you endurance so you can play all game long. You can shoot in the fourth
More
quarter
red blood
just like
cells,
you
more
shot in the
oxygen
fourth
in your
minute.
red blood cells. Okay, got you.
It's the king of performance enhancers.
So you would prefer that, especially in a fight sport, to anything else?
EPO is king.
A couple of months ago, I did Andrew Schultz's show, and topic of LeBron James have come up. LeBron James and EPO. And there was a bit of a misconception there that I was giving LeBron a hard time. I was not. I had my days with LeBron. I feel as though I've told them to you, but he won me over. It was all cool in the gang. I shared a story with you guys when I was having my whatever that was. Whatever that was. He was coming to the event. Where did LeBron hurt my feelings somewhere along the way. He was coming to the events, and then he was sidling up with Anderson Silva. Like, it was something as simple as that to get into my crosshairs. So just to share with you, like, you know. And years later, I'm on Andrew Schultz, and man, this guy, he's taking EPO. We got the same dealer, and I'm speaking to a positivity of medicines that are out there. It was a very different point. And I'm here in Oregon. They got a channel called 970. It's an AM channel. I want to say it's called The Fan. 970 The Fan. Rings a bell. But you got these two guys that come on there, and they're syndicated, and they do a very good job, and they were speaking about this. And they're saying, well, how could you trust that guy, and blah, blah, blah. You're going to have to deal with those things, but they were still missing the point. This wasn't to out somebody or act like his good deeds or his good career or his scores or his titles were somehow illegitimate. It wasn't like that. But you will have certain sports where it's a level playing field of cheating. It's a level playing field of cheating. And the expression everybody's doing, that's not true, and that's a cop-out.
Excellent. So you heard what Chael Sonnen said. Where is the public statement of him going out there and saying, no, I was wrong. Let me clarify it. Where is that? Why haven't they approached him to take down those comments? Why are those clips still on the internet? The interview with him and Andrew Schultz on the Flagrant podcast, I believe it's called, it's still up there. The other sound that we play from you is from his channel. It's still up there. Why haven't those videos been taken down? Why hasn't he come out here and said, hey man, I need to clarify my statements? Why? Why is Jeff Teague the one that needs to go out there and clarify? I'm not talking about a race thing. That's definitely not what I'm going to. The question is, why did one guy clarify and the other guy didn't? I think it has to do with the word called discovery in law. Let me just quickly read a soft definition here. It says, in law, discovery refers to the pretrial process where parties in a legal case exchange information to prepare for trial. The process aims to ensure that both sides are aware of the evidence, witnesses, and other relevant information before the trial, prompting fairness and reducing surprises. Here's a more detailed explanation. Purpose. Discovery's main goal is to help both parties prepare for trial by revealing the evidence, witnesses, and other relevant information each side plans to use. Methods. Discovery involves various methods, including document requests. Parties can request relevant documents from each other, interrogatories, written questions that one party sends to another, depositions, oral examinations of witnesses under oath, requests for admission, written requests for a party to admit or deny specific facts. Now, why is that pertinent to my point? The reason is this. If you go up to Chael Sonnen, who has gone as far as saying what he's using and they have the same dealer, well, Chael can say, go ahead. Go ahead. Let's go through this legal process and I'll present you guys with the evidence. Well, if he does that, you're going to quickly need to turn around and run for the hills. You can't shut down somebody that has receipts. Let me say one more. You cannot shut down someone that has receipts. I was just thinking to myself, why is Jeff Teague doubling back, but this guy hasn't been forced to double back yet? Why hasn't he? Why hasn't anyone come out and said, Chael Sonnen, you need to clarify what you're saying right now? Nobody has said that. Nobody's approached him. Some people feel like, oh, it's a black and white thing. LeBron is going after the black people to make them say, man, he's not going after the white guy. No, baloney. That's not why. Because one guy seems to be a very credible source. And if somebody's saying, I know what you're using, we use the same guy, bro, you better run for the hills. You better run for the hills. Because some people can say, oh, he can go after Jeff Teague for defamation. Yes, but he could do the same for Chael Sonnen. Why hasn't he gone after him? Why? LeBron fans, you've been backed into a corner. I told you, Logic and LeBron fans are not friends. LeBron fans and boxes of honey are like 5 and 6. They're always together. Always together. You can't turn around and say, oh, Jeff Teague was made to put down those comments because of defamation. No, because both of those comments were defamatory. The difference was Jeff Teague probably heard it and knew that it was going on, but he didn't have all the facts to back it up. So he just said, let me leave it alone. And maybe he had too much to lose. But in the case of Chael Sonnen, that dude is running around here letting it fly. And if somebody put a microphone in front of him and asked him about it again, he gonna say it. And I think he has a personal vendetta because something happened with his wife or whatever the case may be, which is something the moment you want to piss a guy off, insult his wife. Good luck with that. You want to piss a grown man off, insult his wife, and you'll see how fast, where that goes. You see the world of trouble you're gonna find yourself in. So, why haven't they gone after Chael Sonnen, and why hasn't he been forced to put out public statements to clarify? The answer is called discovery, folks. That's why. That dude seems like he has some receipts, allegedly. Because for you to say that on a public platform like that, and the video's still up, breathing and all, and Jeff Teague made a comment like that in passing, and his ass is over here bending down on his knees, prostrating like, please forgive me, don't beat me with this whip no more. That says a lot. You know, we've been on this marathon, the Kobe Bryant disrespect marathon, where everybody's taking shots at Kobe left and right? Everybody got something to say about my man being, right? So one of the people that surprised a lot of people with his comments was Shaq, because Shaq has been defending Kobe. Like when they were like, when we're having to go with debate, why don't you mention Kobe? Why don't you mention Kobe? So when Shaq jumped out the window and said, oh, you know, I could have definitely won with T-Mac. I think he said 3 with T-Mac, 2 with Vince, 6 with Stephen Curry. People are like, yo, what are we doing? What are we doing right now? Like, where are we going with this at this point in time? So Shaq said that. So then he had an episode on his podcast, I believe the Big Podcast is the name of the show. And he had on outspoken brothers, the Morris twins, Marcus Morris and Markieff Morris. And, you know, these guys are tough guys in the NBA, out from Philly and all of that. I actually like Marcus Morris because he used to be with the Clippers, Marcus Morris Sr. So they broached this topic. And Shaq brought up the point of, he brought up like, yeah, I think I could have won with T-Mac and all of that. And then they immediately shut it down. Like, nah, Shaq, you're not winning with T-Mac. T-Mac is not Kobe Bryant. Let's knock it off together. So what I want to do now is I want to play exactly what the Morris twins had to say in response to Shaq. And I want to come back and react to his comments. Take a listen to what they had to say here.
T-Mac made a statement the other day, and I'm going to answer after you guys answer. He said, if you switch him and Kobe out, as far as playing with me, the outcome is the same. You agree or disagree?
No, you're not just saying you switching out with Kobe and you're going to be what Kobe was. That's not, yeah. I don't agree with
nothing
that.
Nothing away from T-Mac.
Great player.
Oh, you not Kobe.
Yeah. And that mentality too.
I might have to disagree.
I don't know though. You know what my difference mine is though, big fella, is the mentality. Like it was on, like that killer mentality. Everybody didn't have that. Like he was a great player. Don't get me wrong, but it was times that Mike and Kobe. I felt like that Mike gave Kobe something that nobody else would be able to even imitate and be able to like have that mentality. A lot of players no other players had it really.
I agree with you saying, but I'm saying. I didn't look at it like that. That's why I like everybody's opinion. You don't think I could have won 3 with T-Mac? I think I could have.
Yeah, for sure.
T-Mac was a bad boy.
But then,
but I don't
what about the 2 after you left?
From that, though.
T-Mac was a bad boy.
At that time, you put any of the
you could say that about outside of T-Mac. You could say a lot of them put him next to you at that time.
Good point. All right, what about Vince? Me and Vince.
I feel like
3 in a row.
I feel like people downplay Vince. They just think he a dunker. Vince was one of the most talented players ever played.
I believe the same thing.
Actually, when he said that, a lot of people hit me, but T-Mac was a bad boy.
Yeah, for sure.
He was.
And I feel like even not saying it, it's just like Kobe just watching, playing in the league, and was a fan, and like everybody watched T-Mac. Everybody knew how good T-Mac was. But if you asking a question about him or Kobe Bryant, I don't know what team they was on. If he, obviously everybody's path different, but like what Kobe has, there was only one other player that's the greatest player in the world has. Like they're the only two that has that.
I just realized I'm a few years older than you guys. I'm from Bucks County. And so I grew up hearing about Kobe at Lower Merion.
Lower Merion, yeah.
And then I also remember this guy and Kobe coming to Philadelphia in 2001, booing Destiny's Child because I think Beyonce was wearing a Lakers jersey. Like, what, being from Philly and then Kobe playing in Philly, how much, were you like big fans of him when you guys were coming up?
Extremely big fans, but we was more AI guys. Yeah,
oh my gosh. The best.
The best, yeah.
What, nobody can overtake Bubba Chuck, like in Philadelphia.
That time,
TGI Fridays.
No touching him.
Man.
No touching.
Every week.
So you heard what they had to say. What are my thoughts about this? I think this is pretty standard information here, bro. That's why if something was obvious and it made sense, most people wouldn't be in an uproar. If it made perfect sense that everybody would agree to it, then why is everybody in an uproar? Why? People are saying, oh, it's emotion. Baloney. It's not emotion. People know what they saw. They understand the information. Perfectly clear. Then you have people out there trying to make excuses like Gilbert Arenas. Oh, y'all are just using emotion. And then what are y'all using? Or we're using facts. What facts? The stats. No, not the stats. To use Gil's words, the metrics. What metrics, bro? We're not building the Egyptian pyramid. What metrics are you talking about, bro? Oh, they now found us plus, minus, and all. And I said it in a different show, and I'm gonna say it today. Stats can tell you any story they want you to tell. You want them to tell you. Literally. How can stats do that? Just pick stats that are favorable to your argument and then try them out. Try them out. But then what ended up happening was the stats that they used when the metrics that they used when they tested them against other players, their criteria fell apart. Fell apart. Like leading the league in plus minus. Magic Johnson never did that. He's a top 5 player. There are other players that did it. And then you have players with a higher plus minus than Kobe Bryant, like Chris Paul, Steve Nash. People were picking and choosing stats to reinforce their bias and then calling it metrics. This is what they were doing. It was so clear to see. So what the Morris twins were saying is something that's pretty much rudimentary. The stats don't encapsulate people's personalities. Kobe was willing to clash with Shaq. Do we know that Tracy McGrady was willing to do that? Kobe had a drive unlike anything we've said before. And then they ultimately said that Kobe should be only compared to Michael Jordan, something that we all already knew. This was all pretty much standard information until the twerk nation started, until we got into the twerk era, where honey was flying everywhere. Honey and people were just shaking and twerking all over the tables. These LeBron fans. Then all of a sudden now the discourse has changed. Now they're trying to rewrite history. We all know that Kobe was the closest thing to Michael Jordan. We all knew this already. We all heard players say Kobe was the Jordan of our generation. We all knew this. So the player that's closest to Michael Jordan is not a top 10 player. Knock it off, man. And that's what Marcus Morris Sr. was saying. Knock it off. Like, knock it off with your antics, man. With your shenanigans. Knock it off. Ain't nobody going for this nonsense, man. Nobody. People defending Bleacher Report's list don't even know the metrics they used. They can't even spell the word metrics, and they go running around here talking about the metrics they used.